Well, hey there. How are you doing today? I'm feeling well. I have a piece of writing for you all today. You know, a lot of my work comes from self-reflection, from thinking, from ideas that are rattling around my brain, which I'm able to capture by hitting record. However, other times I have to put words to paper to capture what it is that I intend to capture. Some would say that this piece of writing is dark. However, it comes with a message of salvation. Some would say this piece of writing is dark. However, I see it as more of an analysis of what reality has become. I call this piece, Hell is Just Beyond Our Fingertips. Have you ever sensed that doomsday is looming, like the end is nigh, and that there are entities out there just beyond the veil of human sight? Well, that's what I'm here to talk about tonight. Hey, you know, I'm the type of person who will never be able to feel totally at ease until the world becomes a loving and hospitable place for all. How can one truly feel content knowing that in some third world countries, you may be ostracized from society or even put to death simply for practicing religious beliefs? I could never feel truly at ease until every human being on this planet has a fair chance to bring their hard-earned money into a grocery store and buy enough food to fill their empty stomachs. A lot of people either don't seem to know that, or they simply just don't care. We're not taught how to think about these particular matters. Oh, how trainable we are. Most people don't think about that sort of thing, do they? Well, maybe if we did, the world would begin to be a better place for all. This world, however, is a strange place, filled with evil people. I want to point out that there's something beyond the veil. Doomsday is now. Hell is just beyond our fingertips. I reckon the more Christian you become, the more demonic manifestations will become known to you. I'm reminded of the story of Saint Anthony, who spent the remainder of his days battling demons in a cave. Have any of you seen what AI glasses are capturing these days?
This is crazy, yo. All are welcome. Please stop.
This world is a strange place, in the sense that when you go outside, it's like you're swimming in a sea of sharks, yet nobody harms you. And you know what? I bet they probably would if it wasn't a crime to do so. Instead, psychological warfare is the biggest freely existing battlefield. After all, you can't get someone in trouble for psychological harassment. There's no crime for being a snob. You're just annoying, and you can't prove that. That's your opinion, isn't it? Lately, I've been feeling like doomsday is imminent. Lately, I've been feeling like the traffic is making a sound. Cars are just rushing around, but the sound is no longer beautiful. Everybody's in a hurry. Everybody's in a worry. And if you make one wrong move or take 1 second too long, Everybody's willing to honk and scream, aren't they? Beyond the physical realm, there are all kinds of demonic entities awaiting your downfall. Before I go to bed recently, I close my eyes and I sense this bad energy, this evil, this spiritual wickedness in high places. This energy is amplifying, and this particular type of energy will only become more active and known. There will always be love. However, there will always be more demonic deception and bad energy in this world than love. As a species, we are not meant to be isolated in such a controlled manner. All sorts of mental illnesses have been building in people ever since the COVID pandemic. It's been so long since some of us have known the presence of the one true living God that we may never have known God's love to begin with. You add that to years of social isolation, and what you get is a poisoned mind. A mind affected by a lack of connection and infiltrated by a non-stop influence of satanic media. A tainted soul. A soul removed from its natural state of divine connection and love is a soul under attack. The saddening truth is that most people don't think, because thinking acquires knowledge, and with great knowledge comes great responsibility. Of course, some of us can't think. There are the soulless organic portals, the NPCs, if you will, and the demonic spirits that inhabit human vessels that walk among us. I believe they even outnumber us. That's why those of us who have a fighting chance at understanding this type of knowledge can never make a difference. The knowledge of bringing forth all that is righteous and just will always be trampled upon by all that is unclean. Talk of Christ will sound senseless to those who unknowingly exist under spells. If a child of God exists under a spell, and instead of fulfilling their God-given calling, they give way to demonic influences, they will never be able to see the truths of good versus evil, and how thin the veil has truly become. They will see extraterrestrial beings as aliens, and not for what they truly are, demons in plain sight. They will always reject Christ's undying love and the Bible. Therefore, they will never be filled with the Spirit of Christ. Their sorrows will never be transformed into joy. The word of the Lord, or any mention of it, will always be laughable to them, a reason to mock, scoff, or even attack. Doomsday is just beyond our fingertips. The spiritual realm is merging into our reality, and the influence is ever more. Hell is just around the corner for those of us who are unwilling to play along with the new rules and regulations that will be set in place for years to come. But there's good news. Oh, there's good news after all. It will be up to you how long you want to experience misfortune. For the rest of your earthly experience, or forever. When a child of God who hasn't accepted Jesus as their Lord and Savior suffers a terrible fate as a result of being outcasted from society, their suffering will always be far worse than an individual who is taking up their cross daily. Just take a look at the sheer amount of individuals plagued to death by a combination of homelessness and drug addiction. When you're suffering in the streets, willing to sell your brother's top hat or your best friend's set of front teeth for your next dose of lethal injection, doomsday has already begun for you. But there is hope. There is a silver lining on this dark cloud. And that is, if you are a child of God, ask unto the Lord, and you will receive. You may not receive worldly things or temporary pleasures. However, God will always provide everything one needs to his children. So with that being said, I hope you all are doing well out there. Have a good day forever, and take care of yourselves. Because no one else will. Well, no one else except for Jesus will. I'll see you in the next one. E.T. out.